Hello and welcome to What the F Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Anvitas, let's get to it. It's Friday, November 6th, 2020. Welcome to day 1387. Joe Biden is on the verge of winning the presidency after taking the lead in the vote count in both Pennsylvania and Georgia. While a recount is expected in Georgia due to the narrow margin, Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes would put Biden over the 270 threshold needed to win the presidency. Over the past 50 years, only a few recounts have led to changes in the winners. In Nevada, Biden's lead has doubled to about 22,000 votes by Friday morning, while his lead in Arizona shrank to about 43,800 votes, with more than 200,000 ballots left to be counted. Trump needs to win at least 4 of the 5 outstanding states, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, all of which are currently too close to call. Biden and Harris, meanwhile, are expected to address the nation in a primetime speech sometime this evening. In July, Trump declined to say whether he would accept the results of the election if he lost, saying, quote, "I'm not a good loser. I don't like to lose," end quote. Today, Trump continued to question the integrity of the election, citing no evidence, and promised legal action, baselessly tweeting, quote, "I easily win the presidency of the United States with legal votes cast. The observers were not allowed in any way, shape, or form to do their job, and therefore votes accepted during this period must be determined to be illegal votes. U.S. Supreme Court should decide," end quote. There is no evidence of widespread illegal voting in any state, and the 3:10 in the morning tweet by the president was labeled misleading by Twitter. Trump's tweet followed a Thursday evening public address, which turned into his most dishonest speech of his presidency. And in a statement Friday morning, Trump said that this is, quote, "no longer about any single election. This is about the integrity of our entire election process," end quote. And despite no evidence that Democrats have resisted counting legal ballots or throwing out illegal ballots, Trump also claimed, quote, "all legal ballots must be counted and all illegal ballots should not be counted. Yet we have met resistance to this basic principle by Democrats at every turn," end quote. Republicans, meanwhile, have pushed back against Trump's false and baseless claims of election fraud. Meanwhile, Trump has not prepared a concession speech and has told allies that he has no intention of conceding the election. Trump and his aides are prepared to act like he's starting his second term early, potentially firing department heads like the FBI's Christopher Wray and Pentagon Chief Mark Esper, as well as signing base-pleasing executive orders. Moving on, the United States recorded at least 121,000 new coronavirus cases a day after hitting the 100,000 mark for the first time since the pandemic began. It is the second week in a row of record-breaking growth. At least 20 states saw their highest daily counts, and the number of deaths exceeded 1,000 for the third consecutive day. New U.S. cases are up 55% from 2 weeks ago on average, and the U.S. is now averaging more than 94,000 cases per day, double where it was a month ago. 93% of U.S. counties with the highest number of new coronavirus cases per capita voted to re-elect Trump. Meanwhile, a federal judge ordered the Small Business Administration to disclose detailed information for all Paycheck Protection Program loans, including names, addresses, and loan amounts. The SBA had previously released only summarized and anonymized data for loans under $150,000. The agency denied Freedom of Information Act requests by news agencies to release details about pandemic-related loans that would disclose information on businesses that benefited from the $717 billion in federally backed borrowings. And finally, Twitter banned Steve Bannon after he called for the beheading of Dr. Anthony Fauci and FBI Director Christopher Wray. His comments were made in a video that was posted to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, which he called a warning. Bannon's criminal defense lawyers, meanwhile, filed court papers seeking to withdraw from his case, where Bannon is accused of defrauding donors to a crowdfunding campaign that claimed to be raising money for the construction of a private wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website, And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditas.